we're going to be getting our recruiting toolbox together. Now we're going to be, and we have been spending a lot of time thinking about what we need to say to people, and we're going to be doing a lot more of that in the following sessions coming up as well. But we also need to have, just at our fingertips, some resources we can pull out whenever we need them. And we need to know how to use the resources for their best benefit as well. So we're going to look at two of those. The first one's called the party folder, and the second one's called the business information pack. I want to show you how I put it together and specifically how I used it. So now the pages and the information that I share will be quite generic, so it's only going to give you a starting point so that you can make up your own information yourself. Some of it you'll be able to use as it is, but most of it you'll have to adapt. So let's start off with the party folder. Now, this is simply a folder with some information in it that guests could find interesting. Now, not everybody's going to be interested. It's just like anything. You're putting it out there for the people who it grabs the attention of. For the other people, it doesn't matter. We only want to grab the attention of the people who are interested anyway. So know that everybody's not going to be interested, but there's going to be a lot of variety in the information that's in this folder, so that most people will be keen at least to pick it up and have a look at it. It's a very important tool for recruiting because it's got some business information in it, and that's really what we want people to look at. The problem is that if you say to the guests, here's a folder with some business information in it for you to look at, you can be pretty sure that absolutely nobody is going to go anywhere near it, and they're going to run a mile from it. So people have had all sorts of experiences at parties before, and although I'm sure you're not someone who's going to pounce on them or be pushy, they don't know that. Their experience may have proved otherwise in other parties that they've been to, so they're worried that if they pick up a business folder, they might as well just paint a target on their head because they're just going to wait for you to come over and pounce. So we need to give people other reasons to look in the folder, so that even if they are interested in looking at the business information, they can pretend they want to look at the other stuff, because it means that they can have a quick little read without feeling like they're making themselves a target. Now, the order that the pages appear in the folder is important, and it's important that you mention the folder several times throughout the party, and I'll tell you ways of doing that shortly, but let's just look at the contents first. Now, I'm a big fan of party themes. I found that once I grouped my products into themes, I should say, my bookings became so much easier. It became, the business became more interesting for me as well. I didn't have to be doing the same party night after night after night. It increased bookings because people that had seen one type of party often wanted to see another. The theme parties are not all completely different parties. The core of the party is always the same. All you'll be doing is highlighting a certain group of products. Whatever product you sell, there is going to be a way of creating themes. Now, you might be able to do it by grouping your products, or you could do it just by creating different types of events. For example, after 5 drinks, or coffee and cake, or mothers and daughters, something like that. I've found that as soon as I started using themes, the business actually became a lot easier and a lot more fun as well. So I've got some examples here that I came up with. They're just ideas of some things that you could possibly do. Of course, it's going to depend on your products. I just made this up, and it's just some things that came off the top of my head for various different things. So something like fabulous feet if you're doing pampering type products, hands that glow. If you can't think of any way that you can group your products, you could do mums and daughters, coffee and cake. You know, there's all sorts of things. You just need to get a little bit creative with it. They make a big difference. And when these are the first few pages in your folder, you'll find that people are quite interested to have a little look at it. So once you've decided on your themes, you have to make pages about them for your folder. I'll probably mention this several times throughout the session today, but just always remember that the party folder is really a recruiting tool. But we need to have something else in the folder that's interesting, like, for example, these descriptions of themes. and then people are more likely to pick it up and have a look at it. So I've got some examples here of how you can lay out your theme pages. They just need to be attractive and just with a few sentences that make it sound really enticing. So here's one that I made up, or I prepared earlier. Apply to the eye. So this would be one whole page in your folder. Do you want to do more with your eye makeup? If you've ever wondered what colours work best, how to achieve different looks, including smoky eyes, or how to apply eyeliner above the lid in a straight line, this is the party for you. Have fun as you practice and experiment amongst friends. Now, I know plenty of people who would read that and say, oh, that looks actually quite interesting. So there's one idea. Another idea could be fabulous feet. This party is perfect after a hard day. Relax in a warm scented foot bath and let your worries dissolve as you sample some of our beautiful products, all of which are designed to make you feel fabulous. Now, who wouldn't want to do that? Now, I'd always also include a fundraiser party. Now, especially because we want to recruit, we want to meet new people, and when you do fundraisers, you meet all sorts of people that you would not have met otherwise. So this is just one that just says basically if you're sick of the normal ways of fundraising, why don't you do one like this? You basically sit down and relax and I do all the work and you'll get a percentage of sales and some free gifts. So there's the theme parties. You only want 3 or 4 themes or it's going to be too many. People will find it very difficult to choose if there's too much choice and they're going to hold on to the folder for too long. You don't really want them to do that. You want them to have a quick look and pass it on. So throughout the party you can say to people at some point during the party, well, tonight has been a fabulous foot party, but we do others. We do Hands That Glow and we do Colour Me Gorgeous. If you want to know more about what we actually do in those parties, I'm going to hand this folder around later and you can read all about them. So if you decide you want to get some friends together, you can decide which sort of party you'd like to have. It's really important that you don't give any information about what happens at those parties because if you do that, they don't need to look in the folder. And we really want them to look because they're going to see the business information in there when they look at the theme parties because that's what's going to come next in the folder.